who are logged in with this training session. I welcome you all to this session. And as you know that Bangladesh Securities and Exchange Commission is going to introduce its automated automated submission systems. I mean, all the regulatory compliance data which you are submitting these days in hard form, that will be converted into soft form in near future. So to start with this program, we thought we supposed to start it as soon as possible. As you already heard from the introduction, that Mr. Ilyas Omondi, our consultant, he is the main man for this training session, and he will start his training session within short period of time. But before that, I just like to give you some highlights of this system, why Commission is trying to introduce this system. As you know that due to regulatory compliance, the listed companies as well as the intermediaries and other applicants, they have to submit a lot of papers to the Commission in the form of application, in the form of compliance issue, and so on and so forth. So the Commission is thinking to convert this whole system into automated submission. So from that viewpoint, the project called Capital Market Development Program, which is already completed. It was a project funded by Asian Development Bank as well as Bangladesh government. Under that project, this system has been procured, and we are hopefully going to introduce this system very soon. And before we introduce this system, the Commission thought that from the the people who will submit the data, they need to understand the system, as well as the officials who will work from the Commission side. They also need to know how the system is working, and how we gonna make it very successful from our end. So that's why we are planning to do this training program. And from yesterday, actually, this training program started. Yesterday, asset management companies participants, they already trained about the system. Today, the merchant bankers officials, they will learn how the system will operate and how to input data in this system, and what sorts of things they should know about this system. So from that viewpoint, we thought that this is the best time for you to learn how to operate the system and how the system will run in future. So please ask any sort of queries you need to know from Mr. Ilyas Omondi. He is a very senior consultant and well-groomed and conversant these issues, and please ask him anything you like to know from his side. And the other thing is that we definitely start the system very soon. Until the system started successfully, the submission of the hard form as well as soft form will simultaneously run a couple of months. Later on, when the system will work successfully, then we will give the order to stop submission in hard form, all the compliance and applications and so on and so forth. So this is the introductions from my side, and I like to thank you all who are joining here, and I like to open this today's training program, and hope you will enjoy this program. Thank you very much for your patience here.
Thank you so much, sir. Ilyas, you may start.
Right. Good morning, and it's a pleasure
Good morning,
again
Ilyas.
to speak to all of you. It's quite an early morning here in Nairobi, but it's always a pleasure to have a discussion with the team in Bangladesh. We hope that we'll get an opportunity to learn from today's session. And as Mr. Saifu has indicated, this is a journey that kind of started some time back. And the purpose of this journey is one: how do we automate the submission of information from all the information that you pass to the commission? We want to give you an opportunity of really using a platform that will enable you at the comfort of your office or at home or anywhere you are. You can easily connect to the commission and provide the necessary information that is required. And that's where the world, all over the world, is going. There's a lot of evolution, particularly on innovation and technology, whereby information can be processed and be provided to the relevant authorities real time. So I'm Elias Omondi. I've been working with the team in Bangladesh for a period of time now. And the purpose that we've been working together is to see how best we can create a platform that can be utilized across the board. So you'll allow me to take you through a couple of slides. So let me just get my slides up. In a minute, you should be able to see my slides, and when you see it, you let me know. Just a moment, I'm just getting my slides up. Let me know if you can see my screen.
Yes, it's visible. It is.
All right, great. So once again, thanks guys for really taking time to attend. I've seen that it's a full house. This basically shows how important this exercise is. We won't take this for granted, but ideally, we are going to go through a regulatory information system. And this is what we've been trying to put together with a team in Bangladesh, and also just to work with the Commission closely in terms of enabling this regulatory information system to be entrenched within the Commission. Now, the reason why this is important is that we are coming from a world that is facing a number of challenges. And, these particular challenges do present both opportunities and risks that are constantly changing. Also, we know that there is need for us to come up with solutions that will ensure that we support the market environment and the customers at the same time. And that really calls for use of technology, or how then we can embrace technology to support our financial sector towards enabling a greater transformation, a greater transparency and accountability. There's need also to look at how then we can comprehend and in a way articulate and be in a position to respond to stronger regulatory and compliance systems, but also just to ensure that out of the resources that we have, we know resources are becoming scarce, and most of the time institutions might not have enough money to manage the resources, but this system will enable us also to sustainably use the resources. It will be web-based and will not require any, I would say, installation on your entity. It will not require any purchase of new software or something of the sort. You'll just need to have an internet connectivity to be able to utilize the system. So the investment in this case from the perspective of the users of the system will just to get a good internet connection. And that will give you an opportunity to interact and to use the system when it comes to managing the returns that will be required from time to time. Now, the system, as I mentioned, will be web-based, and it will have a submission that will be available to you as a user of the system. So we'll be onboarding different users per entity. In this case, we look into onboarding at least 2 users within the platform that would be using the platform from time to time. And the user will be able to submit the necessary information through the platform to the commission. The other thing is that the platform will have some validations, and also it will have a single supervision center, which will basically store and process all your data. So if you think about it, the system will be like your database. You can go into the system anytime, you can have access to your information, but also you will be providing information through the same platform. So we are basically also reducing the effort that you as an entity would be able to keep in terms of data storage, because this system will give you the ability whereby all your regulatory information will be stored and you can access it at any time. The purpose of this is to harness technology, and that's the essence why we've been working to develop this particular system. And when we harness technology, we'll be able to make financial supervision easier, faster, and more effective. Most of the time, you'll be able to see that various commissions have been accused of really not responding on time or not really giving you the feedback that you might need within a specific time. So with the use of this technology, you'll be able to utilize the information that will be provided. You'll be able to get quick feedback from the commission as required. So the basic IRS system, or the basic regulatory information system, is an online application that will be used to complete and submit all required returns online and manage communications with the commission. So think about this. The data that you've been providing in physical format, all of it will be provided through this particular platform. And in case you want to communicate with your commission, you can still use this particular platform to communicate. The system has an automated components whereby you'll be able to receive the notifications from the regulator. The system will also have the ability to automatically send emails to your email addresses whenever there's something that is needed, or whenever the data, some return is due for submission. But also as you get approvals, these approvals will also be transmitted through the platform, just to ensure that you have a one-stop shop for all the communications with the commission. The second thing is that the system will have some core components, and these components are looking into how then do we collect, do we process, do we store and analyze data. So the system has the ability to collect the data that you provided to it, map it to the relevant buckets, and analyze that data when needed. So those are some of the things that will reduce the time that will be taken in case whereby the regulator really needs to give you a response, because the regulator will have a system that can quickly give a preliminary type of analysis and basically support you in terms of really responding to the challenges that you might face in terms of really getting some of the information provided on time. So the system has two components. There's a BSEC regulatory information systems portal. This is where you will be interacting with the system. So your area of interaction with the system will be on the portal. So most of the time, you'll be able to hear the commission telling you that you need to go to the portal and complete the required returns. That is what we are calling the IRS portal. The second component is what we call the supervision center. And this is where the commission employees will be using the system. So once you submit the information through the IRS portal, that is ideally transmitted to the supervision center for analysis and authorization and approval. So in most of the time, you'll interact with the portal, but the internal users from the BSEC side or the commission side will be interacting with this system from the supervision center side. The next thing is that then why is this really, really important? Why are we talking about this element now? Now, for effective and efficient support, particularly to the industry, there's need to develop a system that will facilitate how you collect information, and the key with information is accuracy. If we can collect accurate information, we'll also be able to provide incisive decisions, not only from the entity side, but also from the regulator side. We'll also look at sufficiency of data and the completeness of data, because through the system, you can easily provide data, and that data can be quickly analyzed for its completeness and its efficiency. Also, we want you to have a timely analysis. You can quickly analyze data, know your growth, analyze various risks, and know what risks does my entity face, and look at ways in which you can manage those risks. Also, it has been a big burden to submit data manually, which most of the time becomes too cumbersome and error-prone. We are looking into really moving out of this manual data collection, manual validation, and manual analysis, because all these three components are time-consuming and energy-consuming. So if we are able to really translate all the physical files or all the physical forms into soft or through technology, then we'll address these challenges of collection, validation, and most of the time analysis of data that would take a lot of time when it comes to these types of information. The other thing is that we want to support you and ensure that there's not a lot of physical movement to the commission, and also a lot of paperwork. Is it possible to use this system at the comfort of your office that will guarantee less movement and less paperwork? And that is something that also will kind of support the sustainable development goals in terms of less emissions, less paper usage, because these papers definitely come from trees. So in terms of the sustainability angle, it will be a very critical driving component that really supports the goal of automation. The other thing will be storage. Once, if this information will be passed to the regulator, most of the time the regulator has to think about the storage of these files on physical storage facilities. And, that will kind of guarantee that you need more space and more resources. But with this system, we are going to really move from physical files into digital files, and these will be stored within a database. And that really supports resources that will be required for data storage and records management, because as this data comes through, then you essentially see that some of the data through the digital platform are kept in servers and in soft. So the system, the way the system works is that each and every company will have their own internet pigeonhole. I did mention that what you need is your username and your password, and that will kind of give you a unique area of utilizing the platform. And the best is that, each and every person will only have access to his or her own data. So there is no way you will be able to see any other company's data. You can only have an opportunity to work on your data and to view only the sets of data that you've provided in the past. Now, periodically, we'll require financial institutions to create returns on the system and submit the returns online. From this, you'll be able to see that applications will range from just financial data, but also we'll see applications on authorization. You want them to give you an authority to roll out a product or roll out something within the market. So the system will give that benefit. Also, in terms of licensing, we've kind of built the licensing forms of the system, and you can easily use that to support your business going forward. Now, the last thing is that, the way the system works is that the system will automatically transfer data to the database that has been developed or basically procured by BSEC, or the data will be transferred to the Commission's database, and all reported by financial systems. All data that has been reported by the financial systems will also be taken through several checks. We want to make sure that the data that has been provided for is valid, and you will be able to see that if your data kind of does not pass the validation checks, then it will not go through the platform. So the key is that the data must be sufficiently developed in a way that you don't really give data that will be rejected from the system perspective. So this is a hierarchy of how the information will move. You will create your return. You'll populate that particular return and submit it through the portal. The data will go through various checks, and these checks are usually highly automated. Then, once the checks have been done, then we'll see this data is transferred to the database of BSEC. And once that data hits the database of BSEC or the Commission, the data will be approved. You'll automatically get a notification that your data has been approved. And also, once that data has been approved, then the team can go ahead and analyze and produce reports as required for within the supervision center. So ideally, that's the hierarchy of how the system would be working. Now, the key is basically to connect Commission and the industry. And in this way, then we manage to drive financial stability and sustainable future. Regulation is critical and crucial for a stable and sustainable world. But, we just need to look at how then the financial reporting kind of improves diversity, transparency, and stability of our financial market. So we look at really providing what we call the regulatory value chain and using that to support this particular project to its fruition. So I'll basically pause there and check whether there are questions before we proceed, or maybe we can just go directly to the platform itself. Maybe, Arif, we can go to the platform.
Elias, at the end of the session, we will take the question. Okay, so now we can show the system.
All right, so I think I'll proceed. So you can give me the controls. So I want to welcome you to the IRS portal. This is where you'll be interacting with the system. So IRS portal, again, as I mentioned, is an online application that manages all your formal communications with your regulator. And using this portal, you will be able to complete or submit all required returns online. In addition, you will be able to see your company's profile, the current information held by the regulator. So each and every information that has been sent through the platform, you can easily view it. And also, it has to be kept up to date. Now, in terms of the components that you'll be using, you'll be required to have a username and a password. And I know we'll be able to set up all of you into the system, give you an opportunity to manage login, and the system will be able to send you an automated password when we create you initially. Once you get that password, you'll be required to change it to your password, and it will give you an opportunity now to access the system. On top of that, the system has a functionality here of forgotten password. If you've forgotten your password in one or the other, you are not going to be left out. You can easily click on forgotten password, and you will be able to receive a new password when needed. So in terms of the in terms of the what we call the minimum computer requirements, because I did mention that the only thing you need is a computer and a laptop, or a computer and internet. You will be able to get all the required information. Just a moment, I'm just trying to get something. Yeah, so you'll be required to have some minimum computer requirements to use this particular portal. So for instance, the system supports all versions of different browsers. So you can use Microsoft Edge, Firefox, Google Chrome, and Safari. So ideally, the system is supported by every notable browsers. Then for viewing your forms in PDF, and maybe where you might need to print them, you might need to have a PDF viewer, such as Adobe Acrobat within your PC, if need be. Also, you need to have forms that can be exported in Excel. So if you want to export the forms that you submitted in Excel, then you'll need to have a Microsoft Excel installed in your machine. You need also a connection printer so that you can print out hard copies if necessary. And here I'm saying if necessary, because most of the time, most of the other people just store the soft copy and they don't really need to print that. Then in terms of the screen resolution, we are looking at 1920 to 1080 or high resolution for optimal display. So these are some of the key requirements that you might need to think about. I'll now log in. Right, so I've logged in. Then I'll just choose one company here quickly. For you, you might not get to this stage because you only have one company. The challenge is that I'm having a number of companies with me. So let me just use this company I'm calling Alias Test. Now, I managed to log in, and now I'm on the platform itself. I'll kind of see that it has told me that I've successfully logged in, and you can now use RS Portal to complete and meet all required returns online. So once you get in here, you'll be able to see that there are different elements here. You'll see there's a menu bar here. There's a login. There's an icon of a person here, which will give you your details. So for instance, if you want to view your details, you just click on it. There's a question mark here. In case you have a question on the system, you can click that. Is a help feature. It will be able to help you navigate the system, but also we have the log off button here. So if you want to log out, then you click on this button and you log out. Now, let me start with this icon of a person, the my details. If you click that, it will just give you your details as a user of the system, but also it can enable you to update your password. Now, passwords will require will have certain requirements. It must contain one capital letter, it must contain one small letter, it must contain one number, and it must contain one special character. And they must be more than they must be more than 8. They might be, your password should be at least 8 characters and not more than 30 characters. And there should be no blank spaces on your password. So I'll go to the next, which is the help functionality here. So kindly enable me to see the other screen. All right. Are we ready to go?
Yes, please.
Okay. So whenever you need help, there's this button here called help. So once you click on that button, it will open for you a guide that gives you how to complete and submit electronic forms to BSEC on this particular application. So you'll be able to see that there's a list of available help topics, overview of the platform, returns, how do you complete returns, how do you view company profile, how do you produce documents, how do you see reports. So all these are information that we already have on the system. So in case there's a challenge, then you can come to the health functionality to really get the right support. So the other thing that also you'll be able to see is that we'll also develop for you other manuals to assist. So you'll have different layers of support at different levels. So in case maybe I want to see how the returns are done, you'll come here, you'll click on the returns. It will tell you all these things about the returns, how to create a return, how to submit history, how to request for an extension, how do you submit, how do you use a draft return. So all of these are within reach on the platform. Right, so I've kind of mentioned that. Right, so that's the health functionality. The last one here is the logout. If I click it, the system will log me out. So I'll click it when we are finishing the training so that you see how that operates. But where you'll have a lot of focus will be on this item here called menu. Right, so once you click on the menu, it will give you at least 4 features, home, returns, documents, and company profile. Now, when you go to home, it will just take you back to the home page of the system. This is the home page, and just welcomes you to the home page. But something important about the home page, there's this element down here written notifications here. So whenever there's something that is happening, so for instance, it can be like you've submitted a return, you are requesting for the submission request, your submission has been your submission has been approved. All that information will be coming on this particular stage. So the system has an automated way of really sending these resources at real time, Then we have the other bits whereby, all these notifications will also be sent to your mobile or to your email addresses in case, that there is need for you to complete a particular data set from the regulator. I'll go to the next, which is now the returns. This is in fact, this is the most important. Yeah, so once we've done that, you'll be able to see that there are various various ways in which you'll be able to get to see which returns are available for submission. So in this case, then, if you look at this particular component here, the draft returns, it seems that there is no return for submission. So I want to create a return for submission. So maybe Arif open for me this function center. I want to create a return so that they see how that returns comes through. All right, thanks. So can somebody tell me one return that you complete on a quarterly basis as merchant bankers? All right, any return that you might tell me that you provide to BISEC? Anybody? Pardon?
Yeah, it's a merchant banker company, Martin Makers. Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I want to get one return from them. Or they submit.
Yeah, merchant banker, sir.
Merchant bankers, can you select that?
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Up there. Go up. Yeah, yeah, that one, yeah. No, that one, yes.
Yes, that's fact. A moment. All right, so I want to show you how you'll complete for a merchant banker. Right, so you've logged in as a merchant banker, so you'll be able to create your own return. So you'll come here, you want to create a return, then you'll get application for registration as a merchant banker here. So you'll say registration. Alias limited. Like that. Then I'll select application for merchant banker here, then create. So it will tell you that your return registration LS limited has successfully been created, and it has given it a reference number. Then you can go to, you can click on this return to manage returns. You'll be able to see that now your registration file has been created here. And what you need to do is now to complete this return. So you'll click on it. And you'll get that there are various parts that you really need to complete. So application of a certificate of a merchant banker part 1. You click on edit. And you'll start completing this particular form. So you'll get to complete this document. You'll be able to see that there are a couple of things: the applicant's name, the name of your company, the name of the contact person, the same thing that you've been filling in the past, but now it's digitized. Responsibilities of a merchant banker, you attach memorandum of articles, registration, and all that. And once you finish that, you can save as draft or validate and save. You go to the next one. You complete the part 2 until you complete the part 4. Now you'll see this one is more like number 21. the list of main shareholders, the name or address of the main banker, name of the auditor. So ideally, what you used to do, you're now going to use a digital way of submitting this information, including payment of application fees. You might attach a payment slip. So if you want to attach anything, you'll just click on this button here. It will take you to what you really need to attach. So maybe you can do that, and then you'll see it will automatically upload. In case you want to delete it, you can delete it from here and so forth. Yeah, can delete and then also evaluate and save. So ideally what you see on this component is that you can easily complete all the required areas of this particular return by clicking on edit, 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 edit. And whenever you've managed to edit, it will enable you to complete the necessary components. So assume that I wanted to say that this is complete and I wanted to validate and save. You'll be able to see that it has kind of given me a green tick here, you know. So yeah, so the key thing is that you can clear, you can edit, and you can view. So in this case, I want to clear. It will clear data from the form and delete all data that has been entered in the form. And I'll say that, then it clears that particular data. So you'll be able to use this to complete for your registration whenever needed. Also, there are some other forms that will require you to upload. So I want to create one form for upload. Arif, which forms do they upload? Do they require to upload on a quarterly basis?
Market bankers.
No, merchant banker is a name. Which form?
Just a second.
Give me one form that I need to create to show.
Give me 1 minute.
You can give me the control once you finished checking it out. Which one should I create?
Yeah, please.
Do they
For the testing purpose, you can create any of the from here.
All right.
Hello, Mr. Elias.
Yep.
You can try the risk-based capital adequacy.
Okay. All right. So it's here. So this will be risk-based capital adequacy. So this one will be like an annual form or a quarterly, maybe you'll be required to submit it on a quarterly basis.
Yeah, it's a quarterly report.
Yeah, so it is a quarterly report. Let me just do it, a quarterly report. Then I'll just give it for my entity. But the key thing, once DSEC will be creating it, will go to all entities. We need to say that it should be submitted by end of December, because we are doing it for the fourth quarter, and you should ensure that you submit it before January, before end of January. So you kind of be the return end date is the quarter ending in December, and you should not submit it later than 31st of January 2024. So I'll create that. So that has been created. So the key thing is that once you come to your returns as a company, you'll be able to see that that return has already also been created for you. So remember, what happens is that there are returns that you can create yourself. There are returns that will be created by the commission, especially those returns that come periodically. But the returns that you don't have periods and you just have to create them for yourself for requests and authorizations, those ones you can create for yourself. So let's assume that we want to complete this particular return. So once you open it like that, you'll realize that this return enables you to upload the information. So that's the best thing with this return, because in this case, then you'll have to select, you can choose a file and upload that particular file. Do you have any file that we can upload on risk-based? You can show me. So the keeping, we'll get that return and show you. So ideally, what will happen is that you'll be able to upload a return that is specific. So we'll give you Excel files. You'll complete those Excel files, and whatever happens is that once you have those Excel files, you'll come and click on upload data. That file will populate the return itself and enable you to really get all the returns set up as required. So let me just show you how the return will look like from this other end. So this return will have various forms. So we'll be able to see schedule of assets, schedule of liabilities, schedule of B assets, schedule of B liabilities. So all these forms will be there. So if you click on this, you'll be able to see it's the same form that you usually complete with the haircuts and everything. So what you'll need to do is to assume that I kind of download the Excel itself so that you see how the Excel will look like. So you'll only be required to complete these yellow shaded areas. Only this, then these other areas will automatically be computing themselves. So we'll give you an Excel that will not have numbers on the yellow shaded sides. You will complete that, and that is what basically you'll be uploading onto the platform. And what the system does, it will map it to the right areas on the platform. So you'll get an Excel that will have all these worksheets, and your key requirement will just be to upload them onto the platform. So that is what will be happening. The other thing is that whenever your file is not right, it will always show you an error. So in this case, then what my colleague was trying to do was not the right form. So it will tell you no worksheets were found to be uploaded in Excel with names corresponding to the configured sheet name. So the Excel that you are going to provide is the one that you're going to use. You should not change, you should not add any row, you should not delete any column, you should not change the names of those particular workbooks and worksheets, because all that, the worksheet that we'll be providing to you will have been configured into the system. And in case you use a worksheet that has not been configured into the system for proper mapping, then you'll always get this error showing as you try to upload those particular files. So the files that we are going to send after this particular meeting, kindly make sure that those are the files that you will be submitting over time, particularly for those particular sheets for those particular returns that will require usage of those types of worksheets. Now, another thing is that the system will enable you to get notifications and emails. So for instance, if I go to home, whatever that has been happening will be sent to me. So you'll be able to see that on the 21st of 11/2023, there was this form that was available for completion. So it will kind of show me that there was a completion of a file called risk-based capital adequacy that I need to complete. And if I click that, you'll be able to see that it will even go as an email. So you'll also receive an email showing you that there's a return that needs to be completed. So that is really, really important, because for each and every completion, there must be a return that will be required for the purposes of completion. Maybe I can just change this entity a bit. I want to show you one other feature before we conclude. Let me go with the broker. So assume that I wanted to submit this particular data, because this data has been finalized and I wanted to submit it. You'll be able to see that here we have 3 icons, actions. So you can submit, you can upload history. But once you get that your return has all these green checks. What you really need to do is to validate and submit. So in this case, then I'll click on this, validate and submit. So whenever your return is ready for submission, it will show you this icon will come up, validation and submit. And within that, it will ask you, your return has been validated. I told you that each and every return goes through some validations and submissions. And once that has been done, you can now click on this submit button. So if I click on this submit button, it will tell me that your submission has been accepted and now awaiting approval by the regulator. So it means that that has already gone to the regulator. But also something that you'll be able to see is that you can also download a PDF document for printing from this area. So in case maybe you want to download your document that you've submitted in a PDF, you can just click on this and automatically you'll get your download. You'll be able to get the downloaded version of the return that you've submitted to the regulator. So you'll be able to see the type of return that you've submitted, and the downloads will happen in different forms and different formats, depending on which return you're trying to upload. So if I go back to home, I'll be able to also get a notification that submission has been done and the time that that report has gone through. So again, something happening in this particular sort. The most powerful thing is that also in terms of the way it goes, you'll also be able to receive an email. So let me just show you that. Kindly let me share my screen, my email, my mailbox. So you see already an email has come up on my inbox showing me so and so. Please be informed that your return has been successfully submitted for review. Your submission will be reviewed. An email notification will be sent in the due course with the outcome of the review. So should you notice an error in your submission requiring amendment before review process completed, please request for a resubmission. So the system also enables you to request for a resubmission, just in case there is an error with your data. Kindly take me back to the platform. So let us assume that there is an error that you've noted. So we'll come back to the returns here. And I mentioned the area of the return is the main point. So you'll come here and view submissions. And then this is what you realize that you've submitted, and you realize that there is something that is wrong with it. So you'll see that you'll get the returns here, but there are actions here. The action can be download PDF, or an action can be request resubmission. So you'll click on this. Then you'll have to say the reasons why you want to request for a submission. So you'll say data errors reported, identified by the reporter. Then you can say data errors. You might need to be specific, not just the way I'm saying it here. Data errors, because the commission will really want to know why you want to resubmit. I'm just taking it simple. Then you'll send request. Now, once you've sent that request, the regulator has to approve it, or the commission has to approve it, because it must be important for them to approve. So I'll go back to, I'll now become the regulator. So this is on the other side of the regulator portal. I'll check the submission requests. So here I'm working as a regulator. I'll search for what maybe you have requested for, and now the regulator will see that company XYZ has sent a request. So they can decide to view, and they'll see what you've mentioned. So they'll basically get it real time. They can either deny that request or grant. So they can say, let us grant the request, confirm. And once we go to your portal, let's go to the returns. You'll get that it has now moved from where it was view submissions and it has come back to draft returns. And then it will have a new revision number. So you'll see here, it's now revision 2.1. Because remember, you've requested for the submission. In fact, it will even show you the audit trail, that this was the initial creation. Then you submitted your data you submitted your data at the first time we submitted was at on 9th of 2022. Then again, we requested for a resubmission on the 21st at 12/19/47, and also it will tell us who did that. So the system has a very good audit trail, so that in case maybe you are not sure who did it, you can always go into the system and be able to get the audit trail and know who had done that, and even including the person that has worked on this return on the other side of the regulator. Now I'm using myself as an administrator here, but in case maybe we were using a real person in the commission, you'll be able to see the officer's name. So you can easily reach out to that officer and ask, okay, fine, I've seen XYZ, how can you really support on that? So that is what the system is capable of doing. So I'll be able to go ahead and submit this. And then I'll say, I'll go to the commission itself and as grant and approve. I assume that now they approve it. Yeah, so this one. So they'll come here. In fact, what the regulator can do, they can even compare the revision. So if you had submitted it thrice, they'll be able to see what is there. And also they can be able to send you a comment. So they can decide to say, thank you for submission. So that's why I'm saying it will manage your all communication. So and I want to send this message to you. So I'm in BSEC. Then I want to give you an instruction. Please submit the hard copy support documents. Then I'll say this one should be provided by Friday this week. Then I'll say show in the portal. Then I'll add that. So this one automatically goes to you as a company. Now, this is from the commission side. So let's go to your portal. Let's go to the returns. If I come here, you'll be able to see there is a chat comment that has come up. So you'll be able to see it on your platform. This one would have maybe come with a letter or something like that. So I'll come as a user of the platform from the company side, click on it. and I'll see what the regulator requires. So thank you for your submission. Please submit the hard copy support documents. And what you can do, you can again respond to your commission. You don't really need to write a letter or start running to the regulator. You'll say, okay, fine, let me respond to this as a company. Please find attached supporting documents. Then you can go ahead and attach whatever you wanted to attach. Let it just attach. It's taking time. Okay, fine, it has attached. Now, once you've done that, remember this was a request from the commission. You are working on your portal. He's requested you to attach some supporting documents. Please find attached supporting documents. You've attached those supporting documents and you added that. Automatically that goes to the supervisor. So let's see what the supervisor will see. If I come here, let me refresh. Immediately, you will see that there's a response here. The regulator will see that there's a response of the commission. They'll go in there, they'll look at it, they'll see there's an attachment. And once they see that, remember what the regulator will do, will just say that this issue has been resolved. So they'll say, okay, fine, we are happy, resolved, resolved. Now, if you go to your portal, if I refresh it a bit, the issue will be grayed out, showing you that you did respond to this issue and the regulator is satisfied and he has closed the issue. So you cannot continue working on it any longer. So that's what I'm saying is that what the platform enables you to do, it enables you to submit data, communicate with the regulator, have a chat with them. We are trying to run away from long letters and all those components. You can, and emails and all that. This system can enable you to ideally communicate and work with your regulator at any time. Right, so I'll pause there. I think I've kind of shown all the features that are necessary. I did mention that anytime you work with the regulator, you can, or the commission, you'll have an opportunity to really work with them in whatever time that is needed. You can easily communicate with them at whatever time. Anything that has been done in terms of the comments, you will be able to view all those comments as a company. So if you've been talking to the regulator, you can come here. You can see all that comments that you've been working and talking with the regulator on actions. You can see, you can export these comments if you want to. Maybe your manager would want to see what information has been running through with the company itself. You can export. So I've kind of exported them. Let me see, which one is it? Yeah, so you can easily export this and give it to your manager and show him that, you know, we had an issue, the status is now resolved. This was a comment from the regulator. This is how we responded. Our response was only one. And maybe this might have gone to a number of responses. It would have gone to the second response and all that. You can basically give this to your managers in case maybe they wanted to see what was happening between you and the commission as that particular communication was happening. Maybe I can show you the, let me see. Yeah, so I think everything is aligned. Don't have any other issue to show. I'll want to end it here. And I would want to say thank you very, very much. I'll just take a couple of questions from here. Thank you. Thank you very much. Any question?
Thank you so much, Elias. So, dear audience, do you have any questions? If you have any question, then you can ask Elias. Otherwise, we can conclude this session.
I have one question to Elias. Can you hear me, Elias?
Yes, I can hear you, Mr. Rahman.
Okay, so the training session they are concluding today. So when they're gonna start to input their data into the system?
Yeah, I think the what is needed is just now to get their email addresses, put them on the system, and they can start as soon as possible. I think the team in Bangladesh needs to share with me the names of the companies. We create all companies into the system. The names of the users of the system, we create them into the system. They'll automatically receive notifications on their emails with an initial password. They'll have to change the password and access the system immediately.
So that work should be done by the Arif and his team, isn't it?
Yeah.
So I will request Mr. Arif and his team that the two groups, the yesterday's group and today's groups, those who attended to this training program, please include their whatever Elias said about email address and so on and so forth. You please collect those and send to Elias as well as into the system so that they can start their data entry, at least not in the current year, maybe they can start from 5 years back. What is your idea, Elias, in that issue? Do you ask?
Yeah, so
do you expect to start the fresh data from 23, or they can come from the behind? Couple of two.
Yeah, so I think we'll require them to input data for 23. So we can do Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4 for 23. Kind of a bit work backwards with the last 4 quarters, and then we kind of push forward from next year. But I would request them to practice with the previous years.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So I will request the whole team of One Word that please do this training. Those who already attended the training, you please already you have collected their email address and whatever the system needed, you do it and request them, or I will send later to them so that they can start doing the data submission, and simultaneously the older system like hard form, they will do it, they will continue it until we give any such of order that they don't need to submit the hard form. Until then, they have to do this data as well as soft form as well as hard form. So I will request the team, please do it quickly, and Elias, you give necessary support so that those who attended to this 2 days training program, they can at least start. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
So thank you, sir. We'll do it very as early as possible. After this meeting, we will start our existing tasks. And thank you, Ilyas, for your today's session. So if anybody, if you don't have any questions, so that we can conclude our today's session, and then we will open to collect your any further question over the mail, or you can contact us with the over the phone.
আপনার নতুন তো একটা কখন দেখেন তো এসিআর গতকালকে রাতে পুরো এখন ইয়াতে নিয়ে